drive towards right center field, and it's gone in the trees. Hit from Braithwaite. Swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. The Harbor Hawks have defeated the Cotuit Kettleers. That one is a good long drive towards left field, and gone!
Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, Lincoln Revill, alongside my partner Austin DeCouta from the press box here at Judy Walden Scarefile Field at McKeon Park. Austin, the rain has subsided for the time being. Still some scary clouds in the background, but baseball is finally back in Hyannis tonight.
Absolutely, Lincoln. It's good to be back at home after a road trip that was supposed to be 3 games, turned into 2. And the Harbor Hawks went 1-1 on that little trip with a win over Falmouth, the loss at Wareham, but they'll be playing host to the Y-D Red Sox. And it should be a good game tonight.
It should. And, we actually were supposed to play last night against the Red Sox. That game ended up getting canceled due to rain, which almost had another cancellation here tonight. Hopefully the rain will stay away for the rest of the game. But we're going to take a quick break. National anthem coming up. We'll be right back on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
well to right field. It is
Adios,
high,
amigo.
It is far, and it is gone.
Holy cow.
Zane Harris crushed that one. A long drive towards right center field, and it's gone in the trees. Hit from Braithwaite. Swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. The Harbor Hawks have defeated the Katuitt Kettleers. That one is a good long drive towards left field, and gone!
Back for the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, Lincoln Revill alongside my partner Austin DeCouta. The rain starting to fall lightly here at Judy Walden Scarafile Field at McKeon Park, and we're just about moments away from that first pitch. But first, we're going to get underway with the starting lineup, starting off with the visiting team, the Yarmouth-Dennis Red Sox. And Austin, I will now hand it over to you for that starting lineup.
Thank you, Lincoln. The Y-D Red Sox coming out with Peyton Graham in the leadoff spot. He's also playing left field today. Batting 2 is Wyatt Hoffman, the second baseman. Batting in the 3 spot is Nathan Baez, the catcher. Batting 4, Chase Luttrell, the right fielder. Batting 5 is Cody Huff, the designated hitter. Batting 6 and playing first base is Drew Bowser. Batting 7, the third baseman, Zach Liu. Batting 8, Pascanel Ferreira, the shortstop. And batting 9, Tyler Williams, the center fielder. On the mound today for the Y-D Red Sox is Patrick Gallagher.
A talented lineup coming in for the Red Sox, and now for the home team, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Starting off in center field is going to be Caden Rose, followed by Kyle Ball, the shortstop in the 2-hole. The dynamic duo, some would say, for the Harbor Hawks, as they have quite some hot bats so far this season. Luke Mann at third base in the 3-hole, followed by Marcus Pujols, the DH. Ryan Romano in the 5-hole. He'll be playing second base, followed by Mason Greer at first. Dominic Johnson in right field. Dylan Post behind the plate in the 8-hole. And Mitch Hardigan is going to be in the 9-hole, playing in left field. And on the mound for the Harbor Hawks is going to be Jalen Nowlin, as we're just moments away from first pitch. Nowlin coming in from the windup, as up first is going to be for the Red Sox, Peyton Graham. He fouls that one off, and we're underway. 0-1 now the count.
We've seen Nowlin start one game earlier this season against Chatham, and we saw him in relief getting a hold in that win against Falmouth on Wednesday. He threw 1 inning, so 3 days rest. He gets to start today. We don't expect him to go, I'd say, 6 innings or so, Lincoln. He's more of a 2 or 3 inning guy, so we'll see how effective Nowlin can be in this start.
Yeah, Nowlin has made a couple of appearances as he spikes that one in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike, now the count. The first time the Harbor Hawks have faced the Red Sox. We were supposed to face them last night, as I mentioned earlier in pregame, but that game ended up being canceled a couple of hours before game time, as the rain was just pounding well into the night. As Graham pounds that one towards shallow right field, and that's going to be brought in by Johnson for out number 1. That's Dominic Johnson out in right field with the opening out.
The Harbor Hawks have a really athletic and quick outfield with Rose in center, Johnson in right, and Hardigan in left. They're 3 guys who can really track the baseball. They have great range, and Johnson shows it there. He has a lot of speed and a good arm as well in right field, and the Harbor Hawks are happy about that defensive outfield, who have done a very good job this season.
Hardigan, Rose, and Johnson, the main 3 outfielders for the Harbor Hawks. As the count now goes to 1-0 for Wyatt Hoffman. Hoffman at second base. As this pitch comes in, he lines that one over into left field, and that's going to be down for a base hit. Hoffman rounds first, and he will be on with a 1-out single here in the top of the first.
Great piece of hitting there by Hoffman. Gets a pitch down in the zone that he can just bring the barrel out in front and just pulls it to left field, and that's a good sign for the Y-D Red Sox to get one of your top 2 guys on base for the meat of your order.
That's now going to bring up Nathan Baez, the catcher. Nowlin, the lefty, brings it home, misses high and away, ball 1.
Nowlin's very tough to steal on with that knee coming straight up to the glove. Hard to get a good read whether he's going home or coming over to pick you off at first.
Nowlin coming from University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB, the Blazers, as he brings the 1-0. Breaking ball at 83 miles an hour, misses for ball 2. Baez coming from Arizona State, batting .282 on the season so far. As Nowlin brings the 2-0. Another breaking ball, called strike, 82 miles an hour across the plate. And the count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Baez. Once again, that's Wyatt Hoffman with a short lead over at first. Kind of extends a couple of steps. And the 2-1 misses up high. Throw down to first, gets past Greer. And Hoffman is going to extend over to second. He's going to round and head for third. The throw coming in from Johnson will not reach third base, as Wyatt Hoffman gets 2 extra bases.
Yeah, once Hoffman rounded second, he was getting to third easily. Johnson didn't even have a play over there, as that ball just was way too far down the right field line, with Johnson shading right center a bit. As soon as that ball got by, there was no shot at 2. He was going 3 right off the bat.
A good hard throw there from post behind the plate for the Harbor Hawks, but just past the glove of Greer. It tipped Greer's glove, but he couldn't get onto it as the 3-1 comes in. And that misses inside, ball 4. Runners now on the corners with 1 away for Chase Luttrell.
After retiring the leadoff man, Nowlin allowing back-to-back base runners here. He's going to try to work his way out of it. He's got a left-hander coming up, in which Nowlin is very good against left-handed hitters, so we'll see what he can do. Expect him to keep that fastball in on the hands, not let Luttrell get that bat out in front.
The Harbor Hawks have been notorious a couple of times this season for letting the first inning go a little bit longer than they would like and letting their opponents score a plentiful amount of runs in the first inning. We've seen a couple of 5-run innings this season, a couple of 4 runs as well. Count at 0-1. Nowlin finds the zone, strike 2. Another breaking ball at 85 miles an hour as the count goes up on Luttrell to 0-2 now with 1 away.
Great breaking ball, and especially tough on left-handed hitters as it starts at your knees and just cuts across the plate. Great place to start it. If he throws it on that outer half, too, he can get you reaching.
Goes with the fastball, misses a bit low, 1-2. And if Nowlin can get this second out here, if he can strike out Luttrell, that would really be a good sign for the Harbor Hawks, as they'd just have to get 1 more out and they could get out of this inning without allowing a run on. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. That is strike 3 and out number 2 as Luttrell goes down.
Yeah, Lincoln, Nowlin very efficient on the hill, even with the walk. He doesn't really dance around the strike zone. He comes right at you, and right there on the punch-out just comes in with a fastball on the hands and does a terrific job of retiring out number 2.
Yeah, he really makes hitters, he forces them to be aggressive, really, and he's definitely has had a lot of ground balls, lots of pop flies as well, as this one's grounded over to second. That's going to be picked up by Romano. Throw to first is in time, and that is out number 3. Harbor Hawks survive an early threat from Hoffman and the Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the first, scoreless on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Back for the bottom half of the first inning. Harbor Hawks getting their first collection of at-bats as a team as we're just about ready to get underway here. Bottom half of the first coming up on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Caden Rose is going to start us off as Pat Gallagher, I apologize, gets ready to go here. Gallagher from Yukon as he brings the first pitch home. Swing and a miss there from Rose as the count goes to 0-1. Gallagher has one appearance this season. Ended up starting that appearance as he went 5 innings. Allowed 8 hits and 7 runs on those 8 hits. As that is a long ball, and that is going to go foul, bringing the count now to 0-2.
Rose is one of the most consistent hitters in this Hyannis lineup, and he's one of the hardest working guys. Just 19 years old, Lincoln, one of the younger guys on the team, but talking to him before the game, he's a guy who's in the gym every single day in addition to getting here early for extra BP.
And that 0-2 misses up and away, ball 1. Rose almost had his first home run of the season there as that went plenty far, just a little bit too far to the left. Here's the 1-2. A big swing, but he can't connect. Rose goes down, and that is now 1 away here in the bottom of the first with Kyle Ball coming to the plate.
Tough pitch to fight off there. A good pitch on the mound by Gallagher to start off the Harbor Hawks. Rose is prone to strike out just a bit, but when he puts it in play, he gets a couple hits in a row, and his bat can really pick up. And Kyle Ball's another guy who has a multi-hit game this season and a double in that one of those games. And I think Kyle Ball, if he gets his bat going with Rose at the top of the order, Hyannis can start to string together some runs.
Ball in Friday night's game against the Wareham Gatemen ended 1 for 4 with 3 ground outs and a single as well. Swings and misses at the 0-1, brings the count to 0-2 now with 1 away. Rose and Ball, very aggressive hitters in the 1-2 spot. They know how to get on base any way they can. As the 0-2 misses just a bit outside, bringing the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That fastball coming in at 90 miles an hour from Gallagher. Ball at short as the pitch misses in the dirt. Evens out the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Ball on the season with a 147 average. Sitting at 5 for 34 on the season. Here's the 2-2. That one's low. Full count now. And Ball, even though sporting that 147 average, his on-base percentage at a .326. Has drawn quite a few walks this season. Gallagher comes home with the payoff. Hefty swing, but Ball can't connect to that one. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Gallagher, as there are 2 away for Luke Mann.
Another good pitch there, and that's what you need in a full count situation if you're Y-D. You can't afford the walks, and Gallagher does a terrific job bringing his best pitch there to retire Ball, and he's in a real good spot here with 2 away. With the first 2 batters retired, swinging on strikeouts, and a tough part of the Harbor Hawk order coming up, but you'd rather face them with nobody on and 2 outs.
Yeah, and Ball really wasn't too far off of that pitch. He seemed pretty well timed to it. He just didn't find it, missed it high or low. I couldn't tell from up here, but he just missed it by a hair. Count at 1-0. Gallagher comes home. That one misses high. 2 balls and no strikes now. And he gets Mann swinging at that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mann over at third base for the Harbor Hawks tonight. Part of the duo highlight reel from third and first with Greer over at first. As that 2-1 pitch misses low, 3 balls and 1 strike to count.
Mann's been sensational defensively all season for the Harbor Hawks and shows why he's in the 3-hole today, but he's only batting 174 as Calhoun's tried multiple different guys in this 3 spot between Cunningham, Romano, now Mann. We've also seen Pujols in the 3 spot, Zane Harris. So they're trying to find that consistent guy to hit 3 for this team. And Luke Mann has had a couple games where he's, had a couple singles. He's played well overall. He's getting on base. It's just the bat hasn't picked up a ton average-wise just yet. But there's a reason he's in the 3 spot as they give him a shot at it.
Mann goes down swinging. That's 3 strikeouts for Gallagher as he strikes out the side. And we head now to the second, scoreless on the Harbor Rock Baseball Network. But before we go to break, we're actually going to toss it over to our sideline reporter, Taylor. Taylor, what do you have for us?
Taylor Farmer here with pitching coach Ray Korn. Coach, what have you seen out of your pitching group so far?
I think it's a mixed bag. There's some guys here that really struggle, right now, and it's mostly command. It's not arm strength or breaking stuff. It's just being able to make good pitches. And I think a lot of them really just need coaching. Now, some guys have learned pretty quickly. Other guys I teach a new pitch to, and they're getting better at it. But, I think we have the arm strength to get people out. It's just a matter of making great pitches. The other night we played well. We made 2 pitches. They got 3 runs, a home run and a 2-run single. Otherwise it's a 1-0 game and going into the 9th inning. So I like our pitchers. They're good kids. They work hard and they listen.
And with some tough weather conditions the past few days, what kind of adjustments do your pitchers need to make?
Well, I think what they have to do right now is get stretched out. They haven't really thrown in 2.5 days, maybe, 48 hours or more. So they really got to get stretched out so they stay stretched out. I think the pitcher that's going to warm up today was supposed to throw yesterday, the starter. And so I think, Jalen's got to start a little bit earlier. And the only thing we really miss is our normal bullpen routine because some guys are a day behind now. So we're going to try to catch up with them today, maybe before the game, or during the game, get a few guys throwing that might be throwing on, what's today, Sunday? Might be throwing on Wednesday, so we got to get their bullpen in today.
And with the draft in 1 week, what piece of advice do you give your players in helping them develop professionally?
Get command of their fastball. I said in the minor leagues, because that's what I did for a long time, is that if guys have command of their fastball, we'll teach them the rest. And if they have command of their fastball, they're going to move up quicker,
Right, well, good luck tonight.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for helping raking.
Of course.
You didn't rake.
I'm sorry. Here at McKeon Park, alongside Coach Korn, I'm Taylor Farmer, Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Thank you so much for that, Taylor. Great job as always, and we're back here for the top of the second. Cody Huff at the plate, the designated hitter. He has an 0-2 count as Nowlin brings it home. A swing and a miss, as that is an opening strikeout for the top of the second here. As that was actually Drew Bowser there that went down with that strikeout, as we're now up with Zach Liu. Liu over at third base with 1 away here. As that bunt shown, misses down low, brings the count now to 1 ball and no strikes. Nowlin bringing his 21st pitch of the night, as that one misses low. 2 balls and no strikes now. Liu from Cal State Fullerton having some trouble at the plate of his own. 0 for 10 on the season, as the 2-0 misses, actually finds the zone there. 2-1 now the count.
A little bit older here as he's 22 years old. The average on the Cape is about 20 years and a half, so a little bit of an older, more seasoned player than some of the younger guys here on the Cape. We mentioned Caden Rose, 19 on the Harbor Hawks. Harbor Hawks do have a couple older guys, as Ricciardi and Harris, both 23.
Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's Nowlin. Another swing and a miss, back-to-back strikeouts as Liu goes down, and that's now 2 away.
And Nowlin's changeup's working really well for him early on. He's commanding his fastball and locating it and throwing that changeup right off of that, and he's done a real good job with that. Fastball, slider, changeup is what you're going to see from Nowlin, and he has command of really all 3 so far.
He's going to bring Pascanel Ferreras to the plate as he takes strike 1 to start us off. Ferreras from Western Carolina, batting 121 on the season, has 4 hits and 33 at-bats.
Yeah, these Harbor Hawks and the Red Sox aren't too different in terms of batting average. The Harbor Hawks a team average of 178, while the Y-D Red Sox have a 213 average. Both teams kind of struggling to swing the bat early. The Harbor Hawks have 3 homers on the season, while the Y-D Red Sox have 2. So it's not the Harbor Hawks aren't matched offensively here. 2 very evenly matched teams in terms of swinging the bat.
Both teams very similar in on-base percentage as well, as Ferreras goes down, and that will end the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on, as we head now to the bottom of 2 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Back now, bottom of the second, Marcos Pujols set to start us off here for the Harbor Hawks. But first, before we get started, fans, for your weekly review of everything Harbor Hawks, subscribe to the Birds of the Word podcast. Hosts Harrison Meyers, Austin DeCouta, and myself break down all the action from the past week, interview players, coaches, and the people behind the scenes to bring you everything you need to know to be in the know. New episodes drop every Friday, so make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app today. And that was episode 2 that actually just got recorded today. Today's episode featuring a interview with our producer, Matt Noah.
Yeah, we talked about Marcos Pujols a lot on that episode, Lincoln. One of our 3 stars of the week, as last week he went and had a real good week for himself. Had a 3-run home run during the week, 5 RBI total. He's starting to swing the bat really well. 6 hits in that week.
Pujols fouls that one off. He's very aggressive at the plate. He's just, at the beginning of the season, he had some trouble finding the ball, but he's finally seemed to have found his groove earlier last week, as we mentioned, as the count now goes to 1-2. Pujols batting .222 on the season, as he watches that one go outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. He's now 6 for 27 on the season after starting off 0 for 12. Got that first hit a little while ago, and in that same game as the first hit, had his first home run, as Austin mentioned, that 3-run home run over the right field wall. Count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pujols from the University of Dayton. Here's the payoff from Gallagher. Ripped down towards second. That's going to be picked up by Hoffman. Throw to first is in time, and that is out number 1. Pujols now 0 for 1 on the day.
He just got on top of that pitch as he grounds it to second. That's his real strong side for Pujols. He puts a lot of the balls to that second first base hole over there, but unfortunately just got too far on top of that one.
Very muddy field conditions here today, as we mentioned, a lot of rain coming in pre-game today. Teams were able to get some diamond dry on the field and get it dry enough to play before game time. We had to extend a little bit, as original game time was set for 6 o'clock. So we had to move it to a little bit later at 6:15. Ryan Romano now at the plate as he watches that one go by. 0-2 now the count, one away. Romano playing at second base. We've seen Romano at second a few times. We've also seen Mariano Ricciardi at second base. However, Ricciardi not in the lineup today. The 0-2 misses a bit outside.
Romano, a very versatile player. He can play second, third, and shortstop for Hyannis. We've seen him at second and short. Yet to see him at third as Luke Mann seems to have that locked down defensively.
Here's the 1-2. That one outside. That was the 26th pitch on the night for Gallagher.
He was great in that first inning, striking out the side in order, all swinging. Comes back here with Ryan Romano on the ropes a bit.
Has retired 4 straight as this one's chopped foul. It's going to stay at 2-2. As we saw, Pujols just went down with that 4-3 putout. Hoffman with the muddy field didn't have any trouble getting into that ball, but as the game goes on, it'll be interesting to see if the players can adapt to their heavier cleats than they usually have. As that one misses, goes up high and inside, that actually goes off of Romano. As I think that hit him in the shoulder, but I'm not 100% sure, but he'll head on down now to first.
Good to see that he's okay. Gives the thumbs up to manager Gary Calhoun, and good to see the Harbor Hawks get a base runner. And Romano doesn't have a steal on the season, but we know he's pretty quick. He can run the bases well. We've seen that. He's pinch ran before, so we'll see if they try to get some early action on the bases. Here comes a guy who Lincoln has put together a lot of good swings in batting practice and late in games. We'll see if it can translate here for Greer.
Mason Greer now at the plate as he fouls that one off. 0-1 the count, one away with one runner on.
Just missed the school bus.
Greer originally, he was from McLennan Community College when the season started. However, he announced a few days ago he will be transferring to Missouri State.
Team who just won the World Series, if I'm not wrong.
That was Mississippi State.
Oh, Mississippi State, excuse me.
Missouri State. Missouri State's a D1. I think they're an FCS school, if I'm not mistaken, though. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Greer at first base for the Harbor Hawks. As the 0-2 comes in, misses high for ball 1. This is something we've seen from Gallagher a little bit. He gets up high in the count and then kind of struggles to find that third strike sometimes. As had a rate of 3 straight, the last 2 in the first and the first batter in the second, that all went to full count. As that one goes foul, almost caught by a sliding Lou, but he can't come up with it. He now has a big black mark along his back thigh. And that warning track, kind of different than anything I've seen before this season. It's not dirt. It's like a little, like, almost rock shards, I guess.
Gravel?
Almost. Well, it's not really gravel. It's like, I don't know. It's bigger than gravel, you know? It's not just rocks. I don't know. It might be a different gravel than, I don't know. It's different than anything I've seen. I'll just say that. I know my driveway back home has gravel on it, but it's just different shaped rocks and different sized rocks, you know? Here's the 2-2. Runner goes from first, swung on and missed, and throw down to second. That bounces over the head of Ferreras. Romano's going to stay at second, though, but Greer goes down swinging.
Yeah, good throw would have had Romano, too, but unfortunately for Y-D, it skips into center field. But not a bad jump from Romano. He just got stuck in the mud a bit at first there, as it's a tough conditions to steal a bag on. But now they have a man in scoring position here for Dom Johnson.
Yeah, in order to get the field and playing conditions today. All the coaches and a lot of the players actually were raking the field for about 30 minutes after putting down quite a bit of diamond dry. Definitely a team effort there. Gallagher ready with his 35th pitch of this outing. That one's popped straight up in front of the pitcher's mound. Gallagher is going to call it himself and make the grab for out number 3. That's going to end the second inning. As we remain scoreless after 2 on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Into the third inning we go from Judy Walden Scarafile Field at McKeon Park. Lincoln Revill alongside my good friend Austin DeCouta, bringing you Harbor Hawk baseball against the Yarmouth-Dennis Red Sox, as the Red Sox ready to go for their third set of appearances. Tyler Williams, the lone batter without an appearance so far, as he'll be starting us off all by Peyton Graham and Wyatt Hoffman, the 9-1-2 hitters. Coming up, as Williams takes a big hack at the first pitch, can't connect, 0-1 the count.
Nowlin has had great swing and miss stuff today on that slider and the changeup as well, and he's located the fastball really well, and that pitch it misses, of course, but he's done a great job with those 3 pitches, and it's been effective in this ball game. Struck out the side last inning, so it's clearly working.
Count at 1-1. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2 now.
93 on the fastball. It might be the fastest one we've seen in this game from Nowlin, and we know he can touch 94. He's got a good live arm on the hill from that left side. Nice movement on the slider.
Is fouled off. We'll stay at 1-2. Both starting pitchers tonight have both struck out the side so far this game, as Nowlin, 3 strikeouts to end the second. Gallagher, 3 strikeouts to end the first, as a leaping grab by Ball for out number 1, and what a play there. Kyle Ball showing off the hops.
Great play by Kyle Ball. An incredible athlete over at short, and that's especially tough to do with the muddy conditions. He's able to leave his feet and save a base hit.
Magnificent play there from the shortstop, as with 1 away, that's going to bring Peyton Graham back to the plate. As he takes a big hack there, misses for strike 1. Graham at 0 for 1 on the night. Went down with a fly out. Swings at that one, misses. 0-2 now the count. Nowlin in the windup, as he's ready to go with the pitch. Here's the 0-2. That was pitch number 35 for Nowlin. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
94, there it is on the fastball. Continues to ramp it up and impress, I'm sure, the scouts behind home. And after going fastball there, we see if he goes back to the breaking ball or off-speed pitch, which is what I think he'll go here.
And the 1-2, he did go off speed, Austin. Good prediction there, as that is strike 3. Graham goes down swinging for out number 2, and Wyatt Hoffman steps back up.
Wyatt Hoffman, Lincoln, the son of MLB Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman.
Hoffman, 1 for 1, the only hit of the game so far, as he had a single back in the top of the first. The 1-0 from Nowlin is fouled off. It's going to bring the count even at 1-1. Hoffman came into tonight's game with a .320 average. That's going to go up a bit as he is 1 for 1. Pitch from Nowlin misses the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Nowlin brings it home. A line fly ball over towards center field. That's going to be Rose ranging back and making the grab. That's out number 3, ending the top half of the third. And the Red Sox go down. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left stranded. We head to the bottom of the third, scoreless on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Dylan Post going to start us off here in the bottom half of the third inning. We are scoreless here at Judy Walden Scarafile Field at McKeon Park. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta here for baseball action, as the first pitch from Gallagher goes low and away, brings the count to 1-0 now.
Post was one of the 3 catchers on the Harbor Hawk roster to start this season. It was Post, Hackenberg, and Pendleton. Adam Hackenberg no longer with the team as he heads off for private workouts and gets ready for the MLB draft. So best of luck to Adam Hackenberg, and now Post and Pendleton will handle a bulk of the catching duties for the remainder of the season.
1-1. Misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Post batting in the left-handed box, sporting that black-barreled bat with the light handle. A nice, simple, but beautiful piece of wood there as the 2-1 comes home. That's a called strike. 2-2 the count.
A little low in the zone, but a pitch that comes across the plate at the knees. A tough pitch to hit or do anything with on the inside part of the plate. Now 2-2. We've seen Gallagher go fastball a lot late in counts. We'll see where he goes here.
Gallagher finds his own. That is strike 3. Post goes down looking for out number 1, and Mitch Hardigan, the 9-hole, steps up to the plate now.
Yeah, brings it back. Another fastball right at the same spot. Just freezes Dylan Post on the inside corner, and 89 miles per hour on it. Real effective pitch by Gallagher, who continues to mow down these Hyannis hitters early on.
Hardigan out in left field. In the left-handed box now as Gallagher finds the outside part of the plate. 0-1 the count.
Terrific backdoor breaking ball there to steal a strike. Very tough on left-handed hitters to pick that up.
Hardigan from Florida Atlantic University, FAU, out of the Conference USA, batting 171 on the season so far.
He was in the 3-hole at one point during the season. We've seen a lot of guys mixed and match in there. We discussed how Gary Calhoun, the manager for Hyannis, still trying to figure out who his number 3 hitter is going to be, as we seemingly are trying to find the right guy to hold down the middle of the order.
Here's the 1-2, fouled off. We're going
And
to stay at 1-2.
What a turnaround this has been for Patrick Gallagher, making his second start on the year. Lincoln, his first start, he went 5 innings, allowed 5 earned runs. He didn't walk anybody, did strike out 8, but 5 runs and 8 hits coming across in 5 innings, and he's put up zeros against Hyannis to this point, except for 1 hit by pitch.
And the 1-2 breaking ball finds the zone. That is strike 3, and Hardigan goes down looking as well. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Gallagher, as that's going to bring Caden Rose back to the plate. Rose is 0 for 1 with a strikeout as well.
Yeah, 6 of the 9 Harbor Hawks have gone down on strikes to start the game. Gallagher has everything working for him. He's really commanding the zone.
And here's the 45th pitch from Gallagher, as that one misses for ball 1. And in that first outing, Gallagher lasted 80 pitches through 5 innings. Seems to be making good time here. A good rate of pitches, that I will say. The 1-0. That one's fouled off. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Started out as an overcast day here, but just beyond center field, you can see the blue sky starting to pierce through the clouds a bit. The 1-1 is fouled off. 1-2 now the count.
Gallagher has everything working with 2 strikes, too. A lot of pitchers will favor 1 pitch, but we've seen him get a couple Harbor Hawks looking at a fastball. We've also seen the slider in effect as well.
And the 1-2, swing and a miss. Gallagher strikes out the side once again as we head now to the top of the 4th. Scoreless on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Top half of the 4th from Judy Walden Scarafile Field. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta as Jalen Nowlin brings home another pitch, and that is now 0-1. The count to Nathan Baez.
Allen's been great so far, Lincoln. This is his 2nd start of the year, as we mentioned previously. I didn't expect him to work into the 4th inning, as he fired an inning just 4 days ago in Falmouth, but I guess the pitch count is working for him. He was effective in that outing. He's been effective here, so let's see how long they stretch him out.
The 0-2 misses a bit low and away. 1-2 the count. Baez has reached base once. No at-bats so far, as he reached on a walk. in the first. One of two runners that were left stranded when that first inning ended. The 1-2 misses too far inside. The count moves now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. A little bit of action over in the Harbor Hawk bullpen as one hooded pitcher is warming up, as that is strike 3 for Nathan Baez. He goes down swinging for out number 1. That's going to bring Chase Luttrell to the plate now. Luttrell coming from Long Beach State. As the southpaw Nowlin brings it home, that one's fouled off. Luttrell at 0 for 1. He struck out swinging for that second out back in the top of the first. Another swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Luttrell coming into tonight with a .237 average. It's gone down a tad as the 0-2 misses inside and low for ball 1.
See where he goes here, a left-handed hitter. He could use the slider to go away from him. He just came back with a fastball. Would not be surprised to see the breaking pitch. There it is.
And this one hit over in front of home plate, called foul by the umpire. I guess that went off of Luttrell at some point.
Yeah, bounced up and got him. It was the slider. He just didn't get it far enough on the outside part of the plate. Caught a little bit of the plate, but still not enough where Luttrell can do anything with it. He's able to just fight it off, so we'll have to do it again here with 2 strikes.
Luttrell decided to travel across the country as that one misses outside. He traveled all the way from Mission Viejo, California to come to the Cape to play ball this summer. Here's the 2-2. One's down low. 3-2 now the count. If you're Nowlin with 1 away, you struck out 1 already this inning. You definitely don't want to let this batter go after being ahead earlier on in this at-bat. The payoff. That's chopped over towards first. That's going to be picked up by Nowlin, and he's going to not be in time as he tried to step on the bag himself. A little bit of a foot race there as Greer was a little too far off, but Luttrell reaches first on an infield single, as that's going to bring Cody Huff to the plate.
Yeah, Greer had came off, but nobody was going to be able to cover that. That's just a perfectly placed little swinging bunt almost, as would have been a tough play. The only play you really have is if Mason Greer stays home and then Nowlin tries to make a flip, and even then it would have been close.
As Austin said, just a perfect placement there on that ball. The weakly hit dribbler. That was just put in the exact perfect spot. Now the count at 1-0 to Cody Huff. Huff at 0 for 1 ended the first inning with a ground out over to second.
From Stanford, he's got some good pop too from that right side.
Counter moves now to 1-1. Nowlin comes set. Takes a long look over at first before coming home. Runner goes. This one hit back over towards second. That's through for a base hit. Romano couldn't get to it, as that's going to be Luttrell rounding third, and he is going to stay at third base. Runners now on the corners on that single from Cody Huff.
That was exactly what you want in a hit-and-run situation. You move the second baseman to cover the bag, and Huff just does exactly what he's supposed to do, puts it right where Ryan Romano was originally started, and now you have runners on the corners with 1 away. If you're Nowlin, you do try to pitch to the double play here to end the inning, but that's just a tough break there for Hyannis, but, I mean, perfect execution on the part of Y-D.
Yeah, that would have been a routine play there for Romano if he wouldn't have been moving over to second, but with the runner going to second on that hit and run, he had some responsibility to cover the bag. Nowlin can't find the zone on that one. Misses outside for ball 1.
And a right-hander warming up in the Harbor Hawk bullpen, as this could be nearing the end for Nowlin. He's been brilliant so far, but a couple of base runners here in the fourth have put him in a tough situation.
The longest outing that we've seen from the Harbor Hawks this season, 4 innings, and that was Hunter Dula a couple days ago that went that 4-inning span.
Yeah, Saravo worked into the fourth in Wareham on Friday, but did not complete it. So he left the game with a couple runners on base.
Count even at 1-1. Runner goes from second. To throw down to second base is not in time. Throw back to home is. That gets past post off of his glove. Throw to third now. That tag is in time. A little bit of hot potato there from the Harbor Hawks, but they end up getting one out in all that action. As one run does come across for the Red Sox, they now lead 1-0 here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, tough pick there. They had him beat it home, but it was just a throw a little bit low coming in from second. Would have been a tough play, but a good recovery to at least get one out on the play. So now you have two away. A run does come home, but you're closer to getting out of this now.
And one run, really, no harm done. You are behind, but not too far by any means. We're still very much in this game. The 3-1 misses high and away. Bowser heads on down to first. And that's going to bring Zach Liu now to the plate.
So the righty in the pen is ready to go as we get the signal, but they're going to at least let Nowlin work another batter.
I'd like to see Nowlin finish this inning. It'd be good to see him finish that fourth, but I suspect if he lets one more on, he'll take him out. This one hit over towards third, picked up by Mann, throw to first. The dig by Greer is in time. And that ends the top of the fourth. Red Sox score one and take a 1-0 lead with the Harbor Hawks coming up to the plate on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. We'll be back. Back here, bottom of the fourth, coming up on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. But before we get started here, we're going to toss it down to our sideline reporter, Taylor, who caught up with the so-called back nine bullies. More on that. Taylor?
Taylor Farmer here with Trey Braithwaite and Nolan Crisp, a.k.a. the back nine bullies. Guys, what does that mean?
Back nine bullies, just a bunch of guys that just dominate the back nine. It's just as simple as that.
And did y'all give this name to yourself?
No. You know, we have people reach out to us. You know, like the corporation, Back Nine Boys. You know, reached out and asked us to be a sponsorship. You know, yeah. So.
Now that is a golf club, and college athletes can be sponsored now. Are y'all expecting to get a sponsorship out of them?
I think we both reached out so far, but we haven't gotten any word back just yet.
Now, is anyone else on the team a part of the back nine bullies?
I don't know about that. It's just kind of a two-man deal here. You know, kind of like shake and bake. All right, that's just two-man deal.
Beavis and Butthead action.
Well, thanks, guys. Keep bullying the back nine. Here at McKeon Park, alongside the back nine bullies, I'm Taylor Farmer, Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Great job once again, Taylor, and we are back for now the bottom of the fourth, as that's going to be Kyle Ball bouncing that one down the third base line. That is going to be called foul. Would have been a very good hit if it would have been fair, but instead falling just a couple of inches, maybe a foot, to the left of that foul line.
How about the back nine bullies, Lincoln, huh?
I still am kind of confused about what exactly that means. The back nine, a golf term, as was mentioned in the interview, so it's a little weird.
I don't think we got much clarity from Nolan Crisp or Trey Braithwaite in terms of what that means, but hey, either way, they're doing their thing out of the pen. They've both been great this season, and glad to see they're having fun.
You and I, we actually kind of agreed on what we think it means, because both Crisp and Braithwaite have been, like you said, they've been good out of the bullpen. And so maybe the back nine just means the latter part of the game.
And dominating
perhaps?
the last few.
Yeah.
Who knows, but they're having fun, so.
Of course, yeah, that's all that matters, really. As the 0-2 fouled off. Ball 0 for 1 on the night. Had a strikeout back in the first, part of the 3 strikeouts that Gallagher got in that first inning. As the 0-2 pitch comes home. Misses outside for ball 1. Pat Gallagher actually just turned 21 years old on June 30th. Happy belated birthday to him. As the 1-2, called strike 3, ball goes down looking.
A little bit outside there, tough pitch to do anything with, but unfortunately for Kyle Ball, it's called a strike.
That is strikeout number 8 for Gallagher so far today. As with 1 away, Luke Mann is going to step to the plate. Mann with that signature bat that Austin and I have talked about a couple of times. Red handle and a silver barrel. And I think that actually might be some gold lettering. It looks like a, yeah, it's a gold logo. Very interesting color combo there. As the 1-0 comes across, that is swung on and missed. Breaking ball 81 miles an hour, bringing the count even at 1 apiece.
Great off-speed pitch there from Gallagher. He really does a good job mixing it up.
Here's the 1-1. Mann tried to hold back his swing, but he definitely went around, says the home plate umpire. Brings the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gallagher from the windup. The right-hander comes home. Swung on and missed. Mann goes down. Back-to-back strikeouts once again for Gallagher, as that is now 9 strikeouts on the evening. Marcos Pujols is going to come up to the plate now.
Pujols just got on top of the pitch in his first at-bat, Lincoln. He was really starting to time up Gallagher. We'll see what he can do in this one.
Our trio of umpires for tonight's game. Larry Rosenberg behind the plate. It's Rich Giattani over at first, and Jeff Mersey over at third. I believe that's actually Jeff Merzel. I have a hard time reading this handwriting here. As the 1-0, a long foul ball from Marcos Pujols. A moonshot that just went a little too far to the right. My goodness. That was almost home run number 2, and I think Gallagher knows exactly where he's not going to throw this next pitch.
Yeah, you won't see that one again this game to Pujols. Like I said, Lincoln, he was timing him up pretty well in that first at-bat.
Coming in just a little bit too early on that one. Saw that inside fastball, and he did what he wanted to with it. Here's the 1-1. That one's down low. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 away.
Yeah, so what do you do when a guy gets around on an inside fastball? You come up with an outside changeup, but it was too far in the dirt, so we'll see where he goes back to here.
Here's the 2-1. That one's ripped down towards right field, and that's going to drop. That's going to one-hop the wall as Pujols rounds first, and that is a 2-out single for Pujols as he now stands at 1 for 2 on the night.
Great piece of hitting there by the Dayton Flyer. Had a tremendous season in college, had with the 12 homers, batting over 300. And that bat's starting to pick up more consistently now. He's become a consistent hitter, and he might be your solution to that 3-hole.
Not quite as big of a hit as I know he would have wanted on that after that long foul ball for that first strike. But still, as long as he got on base, a successful at-bat in my book. Gallagher misses that first pitch to Ryan Romano out of the zone. 1-0 the count with 2 away. We've seen Romano in 5 games so far this season. Currently standing at 2 for 12 on the season for a 167 average. At 2-0. Misses a bit down low and away. 3-0 now the count with 2 away, and I'd have to say I'd give a red light here to Romano. make Gallagher throw you a strike and then work the count from there.
Probably, unless you're getting something at the belt that you know you can drive.
3-0. A called strike. Romano showed bunt, but I don't think he had any intention of chasing it.
Just try to distract Gallagher, make him miss with that one.
Yeah, which for some pitchers, that bunt shown can really rattle you from the mound as the 3-1 is fouled off. Full count now.
Pujols will be off on the pitch, which helps the runner who isn't the fastest guy on the base pass. So if you can put something in the gap here, at least get him moving from first, definitely helps out. He scored from first in Falmouth on a Dominic Johnson triple, so he can definitely run better than your average first baseman, but again, not the fastest runner.
And if I'm not mistaken, that triple was actually a 3-2 count as well.
It was. He was moving on the pitch, yes.
Yeah. So we know he can gain quite a bit of ground on those base hits. We'll stay at 3-2 after Romano fouls that one off. Barely getting a piece of it, and that one sailed over the head of Baez behind the plate. 3-2, 2 away. Gallagher likes what he sees. He comes set. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. Romano goes down. He's 0 for 1 on the night, and that will end the fourth. Red Sox hold on to that 1-0 lead heading into the fifth here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
The Harbor Hawks would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. And whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your team driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. And save the date for our 3rd annual Pizza Fest. If you love pizza, then the Hyannis Pizza and Beer Fest is the event for you. Join us for all-you-can-eat pizza from many of the best pizza places in our local area on Sunday, October 10th, from 11 to 3 on the town green in front of the town hall in Hyannis. Wash down your pizza with an ice-cold beer from one of many local breweries who will be on hand as well. Come join us on the town green.
Fifth inning of action coming up here from Judy Walden Scarafile Field. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta. And fans, before we get started, a word from Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs including new majors in sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science. You can find all of that online at www.curry.edu. You know, I have to say, every time I put emphasis on that little Curry part of the website, I always think of whenever Steph Curry makes a three, you just hear the Curry, just like the long Curry part of it.
A lot of those during a Warriors game, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Harbor Hawks now as Marc Adamiak is going to come in relief of Jalen Nowlin. And Nowlin with quite a remarkable outing, only allowing one run. And really nothing to hang your head about there at all.
He was great tonight. You know, just 3 hits, the 1 run, and a great outing for Nowlin. He's been good in all 3 appearances this season, Lincoln, and excited to see him the rest of the way this season.
Nowlin finishing with 6 strikeouts as opposed to those 2 walks. That's now going to bring Pascanel Ferreras for his second at-bat. Ferreras went down swinging back in the second. That strikeout ended the top of the second as Adamiak comes home. He rips that one down to third base line, snagged by Mann. Throw to first. A high throw brings Greer off the bag, but he makes the tag for out number 1. As Ferreras now goes down to 0 for 2.
Good job by Greer to get his footing and hold the bag there, and a good pitch by Adamiak to retire the first man. The first out in these innings out of the bullpen is the most important. You just got to start off strong. You can't get the leadoff man on.
I just want to add a athletic play there from Luke Mann over at third base, snagging that ball out of the side. That was a very hard ground ball out there.
Adamiak has a lively fastball at 96 out of the bullpen. He struggled with his command earlier in the season. I believe we were in Harwich, and he had a couple of walks that came across the plate, but looks better his last outing, and now looking in his third outing to effectively eliminate Y-D.
Adamiak with 3 appearances under his belt. He's thrown a grand total of 2 innings, that is, as he has given up 2 hits, 3 runs on those 2 hits. Those runs are due to 3 walks, and he struck out a pair as well. The 1-1. That one misses a bit inside, brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 away. This is Tyler Williams getting his second appearance as he is 0 for 1. Ended up with that line out over to short as we saw the very graceful jump from Ball. Count now goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Adamiak looking to come back here and get that second out. Keep any more damage from happening to this Harbor Hawks team. Down 1-0 here in the top of the 5th against the Yarmouth-Dennis Red Sox. 3-1 finds his own. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 away. A descending order across the top of that scoreboard here at McKeon Park. The payoff is ripped down to third base. That's picked up by Mann once again. Throw to first. A long throw is in time as Greer picks that one out of the air, and that's out number 2.
I'd put Luke Mann up against anybody in the Cape defensively. He makes seemingly every play, and that one, he was so deep behind third base, just to step and nonchalantly fire it across the diamond. He's got such a strong arm, too. I mean, just a wizard over at third base.
Luke Mann is a defender for the Harbor Hawks that when he is on third, you know that he's going to be a stone wall there at the hot corner. He's not letting anything past him, and if he does, it is a very hard hit ball or a very hard ball to get to. That fastball from Adamiak touching 93 as that one misses for ball 1. Peyton Graham 0 for 2 on the night. A flyout and a strikeout. Looking for that first time on base. He skies that one deep into foul territory near the third base line. And that's going to head into the crowd for strike 1.
Thought it might stay fair for a second, but at the last second just goes about 5 feet over the netting. Luke Mann, Kyle Ball, Dylan Post gave it a look, but unfortunately out of play. But with the count 1-1, we'll see where Adamiak goes here.
Multiple Harbor Hawks were ready to make the grab. Should it have stayed in foul territory, but instead it ended up going a little bit too far as the 1-1 comes home. Swing and a miss there from Graham.
Great breaking ball there coming across the plate. Real tough pitch to hit, especially when it starts on your front hip like that.
Adamiak has dealt 2 straight groundouts to third, looking for his first strikeout of the night. Needs 1 strike to get it. 1-2, 2 away. Here's the pitch. And that hits him in the elbow, it looked like. Hurt a little plastic as that elbow guard comes off. And that's going to bring Graham to first base for the first time tonight with 2 away.
Yeah, just a tough break there for Adamiak. He had him, 1-2 in the count and ready to try to punch him out. Went back to the slider, but just started it too far inside as it clips him.
Yeah, and that has to be one of the worst feelings as a pitcher. You're ahead in the count looking for that final strike, and then it all goes to waste as you just nick somebody in the elbow. And that's going to bring Wyatt Hoffman back to the dish. 1 for 2 on the night. A single and a flyout. Adamiak on the mound at 6'4", 226 pounds from the University of Arkansas. Here's the 1-0. Hoffman tried to check his swing, but he definitely did not, says home plate umpire, as that brings the count now to 1-1. Once again, the home plate umpire, Larry Rosenberg, as our good friend Sparky not in the umpire lineup tonight.
Adamiak roommates with Dom Johnson and Angus Mccloskey here this summer. And three of them like to play a lot of MLB The Show, the video game on PlayStation.
Runner goes from first. Throw down from post is a little bit too high, not in time. That's Graham extending over to second, showing his wheels, and a great throw from post, just a little bit too elevated to get him at second.
Yeah, Romano had to jump for that one. So unless you have some Javi Baez wizardry up your sleeve, it's going to be hard to get the runner on that one.
I'm not even sure that I've seen anything at the MLB level that really relates to Javier Baez.
He's definitely unique defensively. Can do a lot of things a lot of guys can't do.
3 balls and 1 strike to count. 2 away. Adamiak comes home. Lofted. That should stay in the infield, as that's going to be Romano calling everyone off and making the grab for out number 3. The top of the 5th comes to an end as the Red Sox maintain that 1-0 lead, as they can't bring any more runs across. We'll be back, bottom of the 5th, coming up on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. And we're back, bottom half of the 5th, coming up here on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta. And Austin, now comes that point in the game where we switch off broadcasting duties. So as the play-by-play broadcaster for the first 5, I hand it off to you, my friend.
Thank you, Lincoln. Terrific job as always. And we'll get ready for the bottom of the 5th from McKeon Park. As Lincoln mentioned, Austin DeCouta here with you to get going for the bottom of the 5th as a soccer ball has come onto the field. And
give him the golden boot.
Good move over there by the first base coach to kick it back.
Is that Cristiano Ronaldo
Might
out
be.
there?
Mason Greer set to lead us off at 6-7-8. Greer Johnson posts as he swings to the first pitch and grounds it to second. Picked up on a hop by Hoffman. The throw to first is in time. 1 pitch, 1 out for Pat Gallagher, who is back on the hill here, looking to expand on his first 4 scoreless innings.
That is a disappointing outcome for that at-bat from Greer, but good note. He made contact with it, put it in play. He's getting closer to finding base once again. Just has to find a way to put the ball in play and get it past that infield.
And steps Dom Johnson, one of the Harbor Hawk outfielders. He's in right today. We've seen him at all 3 outfield spots, as we have Kidd and Rose as well. Mix them up, mix and match a little bit. A new outfielder joined the crop today, Lincoln. We'll see if he gets in the game. That's Elliott from Michigan. Not sure if he's been officially activated to the roster quite yet.
Well, he is on the actual roster, Clark Elliott.
Clark Elliott.
As And comes to us the junior from Michigan, as Austin mentioned.
Johnson behind Gallagher 0-2, and these outfielders are excited for Elliott to get into the ball games, as right now it's just Johnson, Rose, and Hardigan, because Jake Cunningham, the fourth outfielder, suffered a thumb injury, which has sidelined him, so we hope for a speedy recovery for Cunningham and hope he's doing well. But that meant Johnson, Hardigan, and Rose were playing every day. So now at least with Elliott on the roster, you can get one of them a day off, maybe DH a day. So they're excited definitely to have some help out there in the outfield.
Yeah, and I have to say, I would love as much playing time as much as the next guy, but I have to say, playing 6 days a week definitely takes a toll on anybody.
That it does. The 1-2, and Johnson cuts on it and foul tips it, but hung on to by the catcher Baez for out number 2.
Just another good pitch, and Gallagher just keeps on trekking as
Dylan
he's
Post
now into double-digit strikeouts.
Dylan Post from the University of Houston. Wears jersey number 34 with the Harbor Hawks, wears 31 at Houston. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. That was back in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ahead on Gallagher 1-0, the pitch. He hits that one to left field. That's going to fall for a base hit, the second hit of the night for the Harbor Hawks, and it's a 2-out single for the catcher.
Great piece of hitting there from Post, just taking that one opposite field, finding a gap and getting on base. Didn't do too much with it. He just found a way to get on base. Great job.
In steps Mitchell Hardigan, the left fielder. Gallagher has been incredibly impressive tonight, Lincoln, and 11 strikeouts to this point. The ball is just missing the bat.
Yeah, Hardigan, one of those 11 strikeouts so far, as he's 0 for 1.
First pitch to Hardigan, grounded softly back up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Charging is Ferreras. He'll have no throw. It's an infield single as Hardigan reaches on a perfectly placed ball, which gets us back to the top of the order for the center fielder, Caden Rose.
Oh, I'm loving this situation, Austin. I really am. Rose having some trouble tonight at the plate as he's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, but he's been known to put the ball in play. He can get on base, as we've talked about earlier tonight. And with a runner in scoring position, a chance to tie the game for the Harbor Hawks, and I'm just really loving this situation right now.
Rose in center field, as we mentioned. He at Alabama played a little bit of shortstop. He still does take ground balls here, but has moved to an outfield role with the team, as they're a little thin at the outfield spot, but depending on how the draft turns out in a couple of weeks, Rose may be shifting back to shortstop at Alabama. Rose is behind Gallagher 0-1. Gallagher had struck out 8 in 5 innings his first start, but also allowed 8 hits and 5 runs, and what a different performance it's been tonight. No runs, just 3 hits. 2 of them are on first and second now. As the Harbor Hawks look to continue this rally, Rose can't connect on an off-speed pitch at 81 miles per hour, and suddenly he's behind 0-2 in the count.
That was a beautiful breaking ball there from Gallagher. Just snuck underneath the bat of Rose, and a very tough pitch to hit.
We'll see where Gallagher goes here on 0-2 to Caden Rose. Catcher Baez sets up on the outside part of the plate, the pause and the delivery. He hits the outside spot, but it's too far outside. Brings the count to 1-2.
Ferreras was already on his way back to the dugout. That one was very close, just missing by a couple of inches.
Trying to get that outside corner, which has been available today to both pitching staffs. Gallagher gets a look at the sign from the catcher Baez. Comes set, Post on second, Hardigan on first. The 1-2. Thought about going around, but holds up. The ball gets away, and Post is on his way to third. Good jump by the catcher, Dylan Post. Moves the tying run just 90 feet away here with 2 on, 2 out, and the count at 2-2. Hardigan on first.
Oh, my hat's gone. My hat is all the way on the other side of the room.
We won't have a hat shake here.
Darn
Lincoln,
it.
the good luck hat shake with 2-2.
I'm air shaking. Please be a foul ball. I'll go get the hat.
Long pause, the delivery. The 2-2 is in the dirt. Ball 3, so the virtual hat shake works, and it's going to bring the count to full with 2 away. A big spot here for Caden Rose at the plate, and an important spot here for Gallagher on the hill. Mitchell Hardigan will be off on the pitch from first base. It's post on third, 90 feet away. Hardigan will be moving as soon as Gallagher breaks for the plate. The 3-2, ground ball to third, picked on a hop. The throw by Lewis, not dug out. The tying run is going to score.
Let's go.
As a throw low coming from Lew at third was too low for Bowser to pick up, and this ball game is tied at 1. Good things happen when you put the baseball in play.
Amen to that. And that was a great job going down as an error on Lew. Difficult play as he tried to make that one on the run, but a run is a run is a run for the Harbor Hawks, and we are back in this game.
It'll be called a hit after the score is official scored.
Yeah, I thought that was a little too sophisticated of a play to be called an error, as he had to ground that one on the run and then make it on the run, make the throw on the run as well. Just a difficult play there. I was very surprised at to be an error at first.
And props to Dylan Post, who moved up on the pitch a couple pitches prior. Lincoln, it didn't get that far away from the catcher Baez. He caught him sleeping and moved up those 90 feet, which came into play there, because if Post didn't, he'd have the bases loaded still, but there wouldn't be an tie game.
Yeah, exactly.
Kyle Ball at the plate, shortstop from Stetson, behind in the count 0-1. Hardigan on second, Rose at first. The pitch home is slapped the other way, but right at Bowser at first and caught to end the inning. So the Harbor Hawks tie us up at 1 apiece. We head to the top of the 6 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. New pitcher on the hill as we get ready to begin the top of the 6th inning. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you at Judy Walden Scarefile Field at McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts. It's Hunter Furtado on the mound for the Harbor Hawks. Furtado making his 3rd appearance of the season. He works multi-innings typically. 6 innings pitched on the year, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
Pretty good numbers there from Furtado so far this season, and I'm looking forward to what he can do for this outing.
He'll have to deal with the meat of the order for the Y-D Red Sox. It's 3, 4, 5. Baez, Luttrell, and Huff due up. So it's a catcher Baez getting ready to lead us off.
And Austin, the sun finally peeking out here. The clouds have seemed to have gone away as the sunlight, the last bit of sunlight that we can have, is now shining out here at McKeon Park.
Baez swings and fouls that one off as the sun comes out about half an hour before sunset. Very nice of the sun to show up a little late.
It is, yes. It's a little late. It can warm up the cool evening here. 63 degrees from Barnstable, Massachusetts. Wind out of the northwest at 3 miles an hour.
The 1-1 is hit on the ground to Luke Mann at third. A high throw is grabbed by Greer. He comes down with it and tags Baez for out number 1. Nice recovery by Mason Greer. Baez wasn't running all that hard down the line.
Yeah, and if Greer wouldn't have been able to make that tag, I think that he still might have been able to get Baez getting to first, and since Baez wasn't running full speed, shows just how important it is to really give full effort at any point in the game.
Chase Luttrell up at the dish, and he's swinging at a first pitch fastball and not connecting. 0-1 the count, 94 miles per hour.
Now, Austin, going back to the not hustling the first, there was this one time I was watching this game, and guy hit a base hit over to center field, was jogging over to first. Center fielder threw him out at first from center field.
That will happen. I mean, not as much in the majors,
No,
but a lot of guys in center field in the majors aren't hustling either. They're kind of jogging after it. But, at this level it could happen. Rare, but it does happen if you don't, hustle down the line. Furtado behind 2-1 to Luttrell. Chase Luttrell in right field today for the Red Sox in their road red jerseys, red socks, white pants with a single red stripe down the side. As you see the Harbor Hawks in their home white on white with orange lettering, blue caps.
I am glad that the Red Sox have gone with the Red Sox, unlike the Brewster white caps who go with the Navy caps instead of white.
Well, they get Luttrell down looking on a beautiful breaking pitch, and there's 2 away in the inning.
Beautiful is the perfect word for it. Just an absolutely gorgeous curveball. And a great strikeout there for Furtado.
In steps Cody Huff, the DH today for the Red Sox, as he swings at the first pitch and can't connect. 92 down in the zone. Huff on the day is 1 for 2 with a single. He was caught stealing, trying to go second to third on a wild play that brought home a run. That was last inning. Or excuse me, that was the bottom of the fourth.
We're already in the 6th inning.
Or top of the 4th, rather.
This game is blowing by.
It is. It's moving. The pitchers have been effective for both teams. The 0-1 for Furtado is fouled, and it hits Huff in the box, so he'll stay put. Cody Huff attends Stanford. He's thinking about being an aeronautical engineer or a front office executive or fishing guide. Those are his 3 career paths of interest according to the Stanford baseball site.
A fishing guide. Interesting.
His dad, Tim Huff, played college baseball at Grand Canyon and professionally for the Toronto Blue Jays. And his uncle, Ken Huff, played for the Twins and Diamondbacks. So Huff coming from a baseball family. The count is even at 2-2 with 2 away. Furtado looking to retire the side in order if he can get one more past Huff. The 2-2. Slapped foul off the netting. We'll hold where we are for at least one more pitch.
Furtado with another big arm. 94 miles an hour, that fastball. Love to see that speed from both relievers so far coming out of the bullpen tonight.
Drew Bowser on deck for the Red Sox if we get there. The 2-2 once more. Again, tapped foul, same spot on the netting. We'll hold where we are once more. That pitch at 79, a good breaking ball from Furtado. Although we had rain before the game, that did not stop the fans in Hyannis from packing the stands tonight, Lincoln. One of the best crowds we've seen all season long.
Yeah, and we've seen this crowds this size all season long. I'm very glad to see it.
The 2-2 is a hit back up the middle for a base hit, so a 2-out single. Furtado tried to stick his shoe out and kick it, but just hopped over the cleat, which extends the inning. Another batter for Drew Bowser, who digs in.
If he could have stopped that with his foot, that would have been a very talented, very good play.
Bowser is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout swinging to this point. He's first pitch swinging and lines it off the brick backstop. And it bounces so far, it goes back to Furtado on the mound. That shows you the ricochet here and how beneficial it can be and how deadly it can be for your team, because beneficial, if it ricochets back to you on a pass ball, you could have a play at the plate, or it could be, unfortunately, deadly if you're on the other side of that play at the plate.
We've seen it both ways for the Harbor Hawks this season, especially that first time playing the Falmouth Commodores. That game ended on a drop third strike where we could have tied the game at 4 runs apiece in the bottom of the 9th, but instead that drop third strike hit the bricks and bounced straight back to the catcher, who then just threw it down to first and ended the game.
Bowser fights off a tough fastball in on the hands. The count moves to 1-2 with 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. The hits and runs are even. 1 run, 4 hits for both teams. The Harbor Hawks do have two errors. Believe one of those should be on Y-D, because I do remember Y-D having an error on a ground ball to third, Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
or did they reverse that? Or?
No, it wasn't. No, yeah, they reversed it.
So they reversed it.
The one at third was a base hit. Yeah.
So originally ruled an error.
No,
we're all square. The count 2-2. Grounded to third. A tough play from Mann near the third base bag. The throw on the run to Greer is in time, and Luke Mann continues to dazzle defensively as the inning is over. The Harbor Hawks and the Y-D Red Sox still tied at 1 apiece. And we'll take a minute to check in with the scores around the Cape Cod Baseball League, Lincoln. Obviously here we're knotted up at 1 apiece, and this has been a real good ball game pitching-wise, Lincoln, for both teams.
Yeah, it has. Really just a pitching battle, tied 1 run apiece. Both teams with 4 hits. The error is the only difference in tonight's game. Just a great job from both teams so far.
And Lincoln, what's been impressive to me for Hyannis is they got down early, but they continued to battle back, put some hits together. And that's where we are knotted up here at 1 apiece. And hopefully the Harbor Hawks can continue to put some hits together, Lincoln. You have to like what you've seen offensively from them so far.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen the bats come alive, especially in that 5th inning where we ended up with, I believe it was 3 hits actually in that 5th inning. Yes. 3 of the 4 hits came in that 5th inning of play where we scored that 1 run. And just overall, a good job from the bats so far.
New pitcher on the hill here for the Y-D Red Sox.
And then we're going to go ahead and just talk about these scores all around the league. Harwich and Brewster currently battling it out. The Whitecaps currently in the lead, 7-0 in the bottom of the 9th. Cotuit and Falmouth, the Commodores are trailing the Kettleers by a score of 4-1 in the bottom half of the 6th. As we know, Y-D and Hyannis tied at 1 apiece in the top of the 6th. Wareham and Bourne currently notched at 0 in the bottom of the 4th. And Chatham and Orleans, the Anglers, are in the lead of the Firebirds, currently in the top of the 3rd.
At the dish here has the count 3-2. Lincoln Mann's been solid defensively. We saw him with a sensational play to end last inning as well. We'll see what he can do here. The lefty Ross Dunn on the hill, and he fans the first man he faces as Luke Mann can't catch up, and there's 1 away.
Mann seemed to be close to in time with that pitch, maybe just a little bit late as he couldn't connect with it. And a good first out there for the Red Sox. And Austin, by the looks of it, don't know if you've mentioned we have the new pitcher on the mound yet for the Red Sox.
Yes, Ross Dunn.
Yes. Just wanted to clarify, just to double check. Just wanted to do that.
Marcos Pujols at the hill. We have some defensive changes that we'll get to once we get confirmation of the names. It is Cade Hunter in the game at catcher for Y-D. We do know that. And Hunter's welcomed in as a ball spiked in the dirt off the right arm. And he blocks it and keeps it in front of him. It does appear that Nathan Baez is at first now. We'll have to get confirmation on that. Lots of movements we've heard. And the Y-D likes to move things around defensively throughout the game. The count 2-1 to Marcos Pujols. He's got a single tonight and a ground out on the line, and he takes a healthy cut at a fastball at 95 up in the zone, but just can't connect on it.
He's timing that pitch pretty well. He seems almost in time with it. It's just a matter of getting that right connection with the ball.
The count 2-2 to the Dayton first baseman. The windup and the pitch. Called strike 3, 95. You heard the pop on the mitt. And Pujols goes down looking back-to-back punch-outs out of the bullpen for Ross Dunn.
A beautiful pitch there from Dunn, and he just had Pujols just still. Like a deer in headlights. He just didn't even know that it was there. Beautiful strikeout.
Ryan Romano steps in here for the third time in the ball game. He was hit by a pitch in the second, stole a base, went down swinging in the fourth. That makes him 0 for 1 on the day. The first pitch to Romano misses high for a ball 96 miles per hour on the fastball. We're seeing good velocity out of both teams' bullpens. The 1-0 to Romano, and he takes a swing at it but fouls it off. It's hung on to by the catcher Hunter anyways. 1-1 the count. It is Baez over at first now. Hunter behind the plate. That one misses low. 2-1 the count. Lou is still at third.
Now Dunn, it seems, has been above his average fastball speed so far today. His average fastball at 93. He's been at 95 a few times today. His max fastball recorded this season has been 97 so far, so he can get it up there.
The count 3-1 to Ryan Romano. The windup from Dunn, the pitch. That misses ball 4. Good at bat from Romano, who draws a 2-out walk. That's what you need to do. Your first two guys go down on strikes. You work the count and draw a walk to keep the inning alive for the next guy.
Yeah, now a little bit of deja vu here from the fifth inning. Fifth inning, first two batters went down. Then the next one ended up breaching base and ended up coming home and tying the game. So maybe a little bit of a trend forming here. We'll see here.
Mason Greer will come in, the left-handed hitter. Again, he came in here as a switch hitter. But after not getting a lot of at-bats against left-handed pitching, switched to a full-time left-handed hitter. The count is 1-0 to Mason Greer. Romano gets his lead from first. He does have a stolen base in the game. Long pause from Dunn, the pitch. And Greer chases an off-speed pitch in the dirt. The count evens up at 1-1.
As we mentioned, Greer having some struggle at the plate within the past few games. A hit here would really boost his confidence, I think.
Greer already been drafted. That was back in 2019 in the 37th round by the Arizona Diamondbacks. As Romano's off on the pitch, the throw by Hunter to second is not in time. Romano slides past the tag for his second stolen base of the night, which puts a runner in scoring position for Hyannis with 2 away.
Great job there from Romano, like you said, stealing his second base of the night. He's shown his speed off tonight. Just a beautiful thing to see here. Greer ahead in the count now. We'll see what he can do here.
2-1 the count, 2 away in the inning. Good take by Greer Lincoln. That's a pitch he chased earlier in the at-bat, but a good eye there to lay off the slider.
Yeah, he's learning. That's what you love to see. He's learning what pitches to take and when to take them.
Now the scoreboard has changed to 2-2, so a little confusion as to what the count actually is. It was 2-1, that was a ball. Looks like it may have been accidentally at 2-1.
Well, air hat, here we go.
2-2 the count with 2 away. Long pause from Dunn. He takes a look at Romano at second. They're going to go over, but Romano's back in standing, no throw on the pickoff move.
All right, I got the hat. Here we go. Brush it off. And it's shaking. Here we go.
The 2-2 with 2 away brings out the good luck shake from the hat. Long pause again, the 2-2. Called strike 3. The inning is over as Greer goes down looking. So the Harbor Hawks strand a runner in scoring position. The 7th inning coming up in just a moment, but before we get there, we're going to toss it over to our sideline reporter, Taylor Farmer, who has more on the upcoming MLB draft.
Thanks, guys. This year's players are getting accustomed to new teammates and a new atmosphere in a Cape League where the rosters are ever changing. This past Wednesday, 26 players left to go play for Team USA. Along with Team USA, these rosters see a lot of turnover with the College World Series and the MLB draft. This year's teams have more draft-eligible players than they've ever seen before, with 207. With the draft being on July 11th this year, in just 1 week, a lot of players will be leaving, and they're looking to make a good impression on these scouts before they do that. In the nation's premier collegiate league, where the stars of tomorrow shine tonight. Austin and Lincoln, back to you.
Thank you very much, Taylor. And Lincoln, as she mentioned, lots of guys from this league yearly end up in the Cape Cod Baseball League and end up in the MLB draft. So this league produces lots of stars for tomorrow. We saw Sean Minaya named AL Pitcher of the Month, a former Hyannis Harbor Hawk, and we know lots of guys are going to get drafted once again this year.
Yeah, I think the stat is 1 of every 7 players in the MLB played in the Cape League at one time. So a lot of representation from the Cape League in the MLB, and even more will be selected after this next week.
New pitcher on the hill for the Harbor Hawks. It's a right-hander, Angus Mccloskey. We've seen a good performance so far from the Harbor Hawk bullpen, Lincoln. They've been very impressive. We saw Jalen Nowlin just allow the 1 run, and then a scoreless inning from Marc Adamiak, followed up by a scoreless inning from Hunter Furtado, and now looking to continue that is Mccloskey.
Yeah, Mccloskey coming to us all the way from Pace University, the senior. At 6'2", 205 pounds. Has 1 win on the season. He was credited with the win against Catuit that came just the 2nd game of the season.
And before we get ready for the top of the 7th, a word from Milton Cat for sales and renters of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines. Visit MiltonCat.com, your area Cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. Zach Lou getting ready to lead us off here in the top of the 7th. Mccloskey's first pitch of the night is a called strike, 90 miles per hour on the fastball.
Good way to start that off there. Well, ahead in the count, you can start to do what you want to do.
The 0-1. Lou squares around a bunt. Looks like he did pull it back in time. We're not 100% sure. Didn't see a call. Go with the ball.
I think it was a ball. If there wasn't a... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a ball there.
Ground ball back to Luke Mann at third. He has time to throw to first in time. Same way we ended the bottom of the 6th, or top of the 6th rather, was a ground out to Luke Mann, and now we start the top of the 7th with a ground out as he's been busy over at the hot corner today.
Yeah, Mann with a couple of great plays, including that really good play that he made on the run out in foul territory back in the last inning. few good, beautiful plays, and he just continues to add to that highlight reel of his.
First pitch breaking ball by Mccloskey, misses for a ball, 1-0, 72. He's got a slow bender. Ferreras digs in for the third time in the ball game. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to who but Luke Mann. That one is lined down the left field line. It's going to stay fair. Ferreras runs well. He's around first, heading for a second. It's picked up in the corner by Hardigan. It's a 1-out double for Ferreras.
Perfect placement there. Landed just on the third base line, and it rolled into the Harbor Hawk bullpen. And it was far enough from Hardigan that it let Ferreras get into second base standing with that stand-up double.
Luke Mann has been busy over at third, 6 putouts in the last 3 innings. 6 balls hit his way, and he's made all 6 plays. 1 out in the inning.
I will say a couple of those outs, we should give some credit over to Mason Greer over at first. A couple of those throws from Mann were a little bit off target, and Greer has done a great job of going off the bag, getting them, and then still getting the out by putting the tag on those runners.
Pinch hitter here for Y-D. It's Tanner Smith. Coming in for Tyler Williams. First pitch from Mccloskey to Smith is a breaking ball that slips out of the hand, misses high for a ball.
Smith from the University of Oregon, sporting the green batting gloves, very much green.
Takes a look at the runner and comes home. That misses inside. The count moves to 2-0. Ferreira is on second after the double. Mccloskey looking to work himself out of trouble with the runner in scoring position, just 1 away. Good crowd remains here at McKeon Park. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you for the remainder of this ball game, as a big cut and a miss by Smith has the count at 2-1 now.
And those high fastballs can seem pretty good to a batter from the batter's box. It seems it's a very tempting pitch to swing at, but of course, as soon as you swing, you regret it, as usually you don't make contact.
The 2-1, a called strike, got some help there from Dylan Post on a nice frame. Count goes to 2-2. Mccloskey would love to work his way out of trouble here. Mccloskey comes set. The 2-2 comes in high and off the glove of Dylan Post and gets to the backstop. A runner, Ferreras moves up, and the go-ahead run is 90 feet away now with 1 away and a full count.
Now, I wouldn't get too worried here, as you mentioned, Ferreras on third. If we can get this second out here, that really takes a load off of this defense, as we can just get that last out and then head into the next inning unscathed. But this next pitch is very, very important.
Full count, 1 away. The 3-2 is lined to center field for a base hit. A pinch hit single for Smith brings home Ferreras and gives the Red Sox a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 7th.
Smith did a great job of turning on that fastball and sending it back up the middle. A great piece of pinch hitting there from him, as he's 1 for 1 on the night.
That moves us back to the top of the order for Peyton Graham, the left fielder. In for the 4th time tonight. He's 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a stolen base on his line. With Smith over at first, Graham looking to continue the inning, trying to avoid a double play. The Harbor Hawks are very good at turning double plays, Lincoln. We've seen a multitude of those on the season. Kyle Ball in particular has a real quick transfer over at the second base bag. Pickoff move to first. Diving back safely is Smith. As the Osprey fly ahead here at McKeon Park, the AKA Harbor Hawks. That's where the name comes from. The 1-0. Slow breaking ball called strike to Graham. The count evens up at 1-1.
Still seeing that massive Osprey nest down the first base line, one of the light poles. We can't show it on camera, but it's a huge nest with an osprey actually sitting in it.
Another breaking ball, another called strike. 1-2 the count. There is action in the Harbor Hawk bullpen as another right-hander begins to get loose. It seems like all the relievers have been working one inning tonight if they can get through there. The 1-2 tries to go with a fastball on the outside corner but misses too far outside. The count goes to 2-2. The 2-2. Weak grounder to second. Is likely no play at second, and indeed Romano just goes to first for out number 2, a fielder's choice. Moves Smith up to second base, and he's in scoring position with 2 away.
That was a good decision there from Romano over at second. That ball was a little too soft to be able to get the double play, and so a very smart move from him to get that sure out at first. Now in the bullpen now for the Harbor Hawks, that's actually going to be Derek Cherry getting warm.
First pitch misses for a ball, 1-0 the count.
And there's also some action stirring in the Red Sox bullpen as well.
Some guys stretching. No one's taking their sweatshirt off just yet. The 1-0 to Hoffman. Takes it's 2-0. Hoffman on the day is 1 for 3 with a single. He was held at third, so he didn't come around to score. That was all the way back in the top of the first inning. Angus Mccloskey came in here for the top of the 7th, has allowed a run, which has allowed the Red Sox to take a 2-1 lead. Mccloskey looking to work his way out of any further damage. A runner on second base, a 2-0 count to the 2-hitter on this Red Sox squad, and Hoffman. The 2-0. Called strike at the knees, 2-1 the count. 88 miles per hour. Baez on deck. The 2-1. In the dirt, ball 3, 3-1. Mccloskey in danger of losing Hoffman. The wind is non-existent here at McKeon Park as the flag isn't even moving an inch.
Yeah, it hasn't been very strong. I mentioned earlier it was only at 3 miles an hour, so it's been very still all night.
Hoffman draws a walk, which puts runners on first and second with still 2 away. As Nathan Baez gets ready to step in. Baez started the game at catcher, was moved over to first base last inning defensively. Baez is over 2 on the night with a walk. And manager Gary Calhoun coming out to talk to his pitcher Mccloskey. We'll see if that'll be the end of the line for Angus.
I wouldn't pull his plug just yet. I'd give him another chance to finish out this inning. If he lets Baez on base, then I'd go ahead and take him out. But as of now, try to let him get that third out.
So Mccloskey will live for another batter as Calhoun just discusses for a moment with his pitcher how he's feeling on the hill. Baez looking to bring home an insurance run for Y-D, who leads it 2-1 here in the top of the 7th. First pitch, called strike at the knees. Nice pitch there from Mccloskey. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Harbor Hawks tonight. The difference just the 1 run, an RBI single from Smith earlier in this inning. As Dylan Post drops down and blocks a curveball in the dirt, 1-1 the count. The Harbor Hawk defense remains the same as it started all the way back in the beginning of the ball game at 6:15 first pitch. The 1-1 that misses high for a ball, 2-1. If you're just joining us, Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill in the booth here as the Harbor Hawks chasing a run, looking to prevent the lead from growing any further.
Baez in 2021 at Arizona State. Ended up with 41 games played, had 105 at-bats where he had a .276 average, 29 hits, including 8 home runs, and he posted 24 RBIs in that time for a .533 slugging percentage and a .339 on-base percentage.
The 3-1. Misses ball 4. Back-to-back walks allowed by Mccloskey, and that'll prompt another visit from Gary Calhoun, so it appears that McCloskey's day is going to be done, and he'll leave with the bases loaded as it's a call to the bullpen. The Harbor Hawks are still chasing 1, but it could grow to a further lead, Lincoln, with 1 bad pitch, and McCloskey's day is over. It's going to be Derek Cherry coming on to look to keep the Red Sox bats at bay.
Yeah, and what a situation for Cherry to come in with. The bases loaded, 2 away, looking for that final out here without giving up another run and extending that deficit for the Red Sox.
Pitching change here at McKeon Park. We'll be back in just a moment after Cherry tosses his warm-up pitches on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Derek Cherry looking to work his way out of danger here on the top of the 7th. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill with you. Bases loaded for the Y-D Red Sox as the Houston pitcher, catcher, the battery. All Houston here for the Harbor Hawks with Post and Cherry now on the hill. 94 miles per hour on the fastball. Cherry has a good fastball. See if he can locate it here. You have no room to walk him. Gonna have to come in the zone. As Luttrell digs in. The 1-0 from Cherry. Ground ball, hard hit to first. It's by Mason Greer off his foot. 1 run scores. Here comes Hoffman. They're going to wave home Baez. The throw from right field is not in time, and all the way going to third is Luttrell as 3 runs come home in the worst possible scenario for Hyannis as the lead extends to 5-1.
Yeah, that's about as bad as it could have gone for the Harbor Hawks. A bases clearing E3.
Be an error on Mason Greer over at first, which unloads the bases. Tough break.
Yeah, just a tough moment for Mason Greer. As you mentioned, that ball went off of his foot, and it just kept on rolling.
First pitch swinging for Huff as he fouls it back. Derek Cherry looking to get the final out here in the top of the 7th, which has been proved a tough inning for Hyannis tonight as 4 runs have come across for the Y-D Red Sox. Long pause from Cherry, the 0-1. Fastball misses. Count moves to 1-1.
And we've seen this a few times this season for the Harbor Hawks, where we start out great heading into the latter parts of the game, and then we just can't find those 3 outs, and we just keep letting runs across like we have in this half inning.
The 1-1 is hit back to the mound. Cherry fields it himself. The throw on to Greer at first is in time, and the inning is over. 4 runs cross the plate. The Red Sox take a 5-1 lead on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Dom Johnson due to lead us off here in the bottom of the 7th inning from McKean Park. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you. Lincoln, things didn't exactly go as planned in the top of the 7th inning as 4 runs cross the plate and the leads, but the tie game slips away from Hyannis.
Yeah, it's been that 7th inning not what we wanted to see. It's been an even game up until that top of the 7th, and then 4 runs came across, a bountiful amount of walks for the Red Sox, and just not what the Harbor Hawks wanted at all.
Johnson tried to get a run back with that swing, but comes up empty on a fastball. The count moves to 1-1.
Johnson should just be looking to get on base here. He's 0 for 2 on the night, a flyout and a strikeout. He hasn't really made solid contact so far tonight. So as of now, he just needs to look to get on base to lead this inning off.
Tough foul ball off the catcher Hunter. He takes a minute to regroup. The count 1-2 to the future Kansas State outfielder as Johnson transfers there from Oklahoma State. One, 2 the count. Dunn back on the hill for his second inning of work out of the Y-D bullpen.
Now, Austin, what started out tonight as a pretty nasty-looking day with the overcast skies has turned into quite a nice sunset. That's got light blue sky, the pink clouds extending over into sort of an orange as it moves from left to right across the screen here.
A little bit chilly now, but not too bad. And compared to what we were facing at 3 and 4 o'clock, Lincoln, we'll definitely take this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's gotten warmer as the evening's gone on. Usually it gets colder, but sitting at 63 degrees right now, as opposed to I just saw today back home it's around 95.
Wow.
In Texas
we'll
right now.
have a couple of those days coming up, but not before we have to get through the rest of this chilly evening.
Yeah, during work this morning, it felt almost unnatural that it was in the 60s in July. But then again, New England.
Dom Johnson goes down on strikes for the first out. Dylan Post swings the first pitch and hits it above the Harbor Hawk third base dugout, and he's behind 0-1. Taking a moment to look at what's ahead for Hyannis this week. Monday, tomorrow, we are home versus Chatham, as we have the second date with the Anglers this season, the first home visit against them. Tuesday, the off day this week, a little bit different. Usually Thursdays are off. And then Wednesday, the Harbor Hawks travel to Brewster for a 5 p.m. first pitch. Thursday, back home against Orleans, and Friday away at Bourne. Busy schedule once again, 6 games a week. After that Tuesday off day, it's 8 straight days with a ball game, Lincoln, so a busy stretch upcoming.
Yes, it is, and no doubt going to be a tough stretch, especially towards the end of that long series of games.
The count 0-2 to Dylan Post, who has singled in the ball game. He's scored the only run for Hyannis to this point. 8-9 up here for Hyannis. Dom Johnson led us off. The 0-2. Ground ball, hard hit to second. Picked up on a hop. The throw to first is in time for out number 2.
Another routine play there from Hoffman over at second base. He just had to move a little bit over to his left in order to make that grab, but once he did, just an easy throw over to first base for out number 2.
Mitch Hardigan steps up now for his third time. 1 for 2 with an infield single. He's starting to pick up his bat a little bit as well. The windup from Dunn. The first pitch to Hardigan. He can't connect on a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. He's behind in the count 0-1.
Hardigan sporting those team custom-made Franklin batting gloves. All the teams in the Cape ended up getting those custom batting gloves.
Can't connect again. 0-2 the count. Two away. The pitch from Dunn. And he fans Hardigan on a fastball, so the side is retired in order with a pair of punch-outs. As the Harbor Hawks are still chasing 4 now, as we head to the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th, ready to go here from Judy Walden Scarefile Field at McKeon Park. Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill in the booth as the Harbor Hawks look to keep the Y-D Bats at bay this inning. 4 runs came across in the top of the 7th for Y-D as Derek Cherry is back on the bump here. Got the final out in the top of the 7th. Cherry coming back on here for the 8th as the catcher Hunter leads it off. Came into the ball game replacing Bowser, who had the first 3 at-bats in the 6th spot as he takes an off-speed pitch that kicks up on Dylan Post. Shows you how tough the hops can be, Lincoln, as that one bounced up all the way halfway up on the netting after hitting in front of the plate.
Yeah, and some of those ground balls out in the outfield have taken some pretty strange bounces, as a couple of them have almost bounced over the outfielders for the Harbor Hawks and their opponents. I was actually speaking with Dominic Johnson at one point, and he was saying that the outfield grass is very similar to a turf feel in the way that the ball bounces off of it.
Can be tough to judge the hops out there. The 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2 the count. Action in the Hyannis bullpen as another right-hander begins to loosen up. Misses for a ball. The count moves to 3-2.
And the bullpen, that's going to be Daniel Lloyd for Hyannis, starting to warm up.
Saw Lloyd on Wednesday against Falmouth as that one's grounded to Romano. The throw to first pulls Greer off the bag, and an error on the second baseman Romano allows the leadoff man to reach. Lincoln, as I was saying, we saw Lloyd against Falmouth earlier this season. That was on Wednesday in the most recent win, and he struck out the side in the 9th inning to secure the victory. It's a very good performance by Daniel Lloyd.
Yeah, Lloyd coming in clutch as he struck out the side, like you mentioned, to end the game. And just an overall good outing there, even though it did last only an inning. Very good.
Zach Liu digs in here. Pause from Cherry, the windup in the pitch. Called strike at 94 miles per hour on the fastball. Hunter on first after the error by Romano. The 4th error on the night for Hyannis. Long pause from Cherry. The 0-1. Misses for a ball, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, like you've mentioned, 4 errors so far, and a lot of walks and a lot of errors will lead to not a lot of games won. And in a few of the losses that we've seen from the Harbor Hawks, we've seen a lot of walks and a few errors from those losses.
The 1-1 as Liu can't connect on a fastball, and he loses his bat in the process. Slips out of the hands, and the Harbor Hawk bat boy gives it an inspection. 1-2.
That one might need a little bit more pine tar. Yep, as right on cue. Getting a little bit more on his bat.
Liu is 0 for 3 on the night. A strikeout and a pair of groundouts over to third base, where Luke Mann has been sensational once again. Cherry gets a look at the runner. Hunter on first, comes set. The 1-2 in the dirt. Controlled by Post. The count evens up at 2-2.
Now you're ahead in the count. You got to attack the zone here. Just get a ground ball. Something to at least get the first out, possibly maybe a double play here. Just got to attack the zone, make him hit the ball.
Cherry from the stretch, a long pause, the 2-2. Fouled back off the netting. The count will hold where it is. Cherry does a good job of holding runners on. And it's not necessarily a quick to home, but he keeps changing up how long it takes him to go to home. So the runners are having a tough time getting a good jump on the Houston right-hander.
Yeah, what you'll see a lot of pitchers do is they'll have like their own little routine, little rhythm that they get into, and they just stick to that rhythm. But Cherry's doing a good job of, like you said, mixing everything up, mixing up how long he pauses, and just doing a great job of keeping the runners really from knowing what is coming and when it's coming.
Count moves to full to Zach Lou at 3-2. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th. 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Y-D Red Sox. 1 run, 4 hits, 4 errors for Hyannis. Has the Harbor Hawks chasing 4. Lou can't connect on a fastball, out number 1 as Cherry gets the third baseman swinging.
Attack the zone, good things will happen. It took a little while longer than expected, but that first strikeout for Cherry on the night.
Pascanel Ferreras digs in. 1 for 3, a double and a run scored as he doubled last inning. That was part of the top of the 7th rally, which plated 4 for the Red Sox. Fastball comes in on him, backs him off the plate a bit, ball 1. Lloyd ramping up his action out in the Harbor Hawks bullpen down the left field line. His bullpens are in play here at McKeon. Long pause from Cherry. He adjusts the ball in his glove, comes home with the 1-0. Called strike on the outside corner. The count will even up at 1 apiece. Ferreras has done a nice job defensively this game as well, in addition to that double. The 1-1. That gets by Dylan Post. And moving up 90 feet to second base is Hunter, which puts a runner in scoring position with 1 away.
Not exactly the situation that you wanted, and a lot more wild pitches from the pitchers here tonight as well, as we've seen a lot more balls head to the backstop than we have in a few games up to this date.
The 2-1. Grounded down the third baseline, out of play. The count will move to 2-2. Leadoff man reached on an error by the second baseman Ryan Romano. Then that was followed up by a strikeout to Zach Lou. Runner gets to second base, such as Hunter over there after a wild pitch. And now the count 2-2 to the 8-hitter Ferreras. Cherry comes set. That one's grounded back up the middle. Romano is there. The throw on to first is by Greer again. As a throw in the dirt allows a run to cross the plate, and the lead has expanded as it's 6-1 Y-D.
Now that throw from Romano was a little bit further than his last throw, but still from that length, from second base at this level of play, those errors just shouldn't be coming. And if they do, they should be few and far between. But so far, that's Romano with 2 errors just in this inning alone.
Yeah, the error on Romano at second base. Second of the inning. Runner on second, 1 away. An unearned run for Derek Cherry. Brings up Smith. He pinch hit last inning and singled in a run. He also came around to score later that inning.
Yeah, including Ferreras. 4 of the next 5 hitters, again, that's including Ferreras, represent 4 of the now 6 runs for the Red Sox.
Smith behind 0-2 as Cherry has a good changeup working as well. Cherry comes set. Gets the sign from Post to the 0-2. Ground ball down the first base line. It gets out of play. Foul ball. The count will hold at 0-2. Cherry picks up the chisel behind the mound and scrapes out the mud from his cleats. Now, although the weather looks okay now, let's not forget the conditions before the game. The muddy, wet infield before the game started, but the grounds crew and players did a good job as the runner goes to third, and it gets by Luke Mann, and that's going to allow Ferreras to come home and that expands the lead even further. It makes it 7-1.
And for that throw, like, Cherry took a little bit longer to come home than he has been in the past. And so I don't think Post would have gotten that throw to third and time anyway. But he ended up spiking that throw in the dirt, and man couldn't get to it and ended up getting past him. And the lead just continues to grow now for the Red Sox.
That one's lined straight back off the netting behind home. The count will be 1-2.
A couple of our fellow booth inhabitants are kind of jumped at that foul ball a little bit. A little bit of a scary situation there.
Smith behind 1-2, looking for his second hit in as many at-bats. The pitch from Cherry. Gets him reaching on a changeup, and that is out number 2. Smith goes down swinging. More runs than hits for Y-D Lincoln, and that tells the story of the game. And 6 errors for Hyannis tonight.
Yeah,
a number that you should never see under that error category.
No, you should never see that many errors from any team at this level of play. And things just aren't clicking for the Harbor Hawks right now.
Lineup card turns over, back to the top of the order. Peyton Graham digs in for the 5th time tonight. He is 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch and a stolen base. And quiet out of the leadoff spot. The 1-0 from Cherry. In the dirt, 2-0 the count. Quiet crowd here at McKeon Park as still a good amount of fans remain towards the end of this ball game. The 2-0. Thought about going around. Let's check with the first base umpire, but indeed, Graham held up.
4-pitch walk here, something you don't want to give up. Don't want to give him too much momentum here and have to find the strike zone again.
The 3-0. Ball 4, so Cherry allows a walk. 2 away in the inning. Now it's Hoffman. Due up. We have the official attendance tonight here at McKeon Park. 2,532, a packed house here on the 4th of July.
Honestly, I didn't think this place even fit that many people when I first saw it. I guess a lot of seat, like, people. Well, I do see people brought their own chairs, a few of them.
Mound visit here as pitching coach Ray Korn comes out to chat with his pitcher.
Now going to the tonight's attendance, the Harbor Hawks actually have been averaging the 2nd best average attendance for the season so far.
Good crowds coming out to McKeon Park to see their team in action. Derek Cherry has not been helped out by his defense this inning as 2 unearned runs have come across. Back to Wyatt Hoffman, the second baseman. First pitch to Hoffman. Misses low for a ball. Hoffman is 1 for 3, a single, a walk, and a run scored on the line tonight. Runner at first is Graham after the 2-out walk. The 1-0. A ball outside, 2-0 the count.
6 straight balls thrown now for Cherry. And honestly, if I were Hoffman, I wouldn't even attempt to swing at this pitch. I would wait and make Cherry throw me a strike.
I would agree with you, Lincoln. The 2-0. He swings at a pitch a little bit out of the zone, 2-1 the count.
That would have been ball number 7 in a row, but instead he breaks the streak, and it's now his first strike in a little while, but first strike nonetheless.
2-1, 2 away. Cherry comes set. Long pause. The 2-1. Ground ball to third. Luke Mann backhands it. The strong throw across the diamond in time. To end the inning, the Red Sox tack on 2 more. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 7-1 Y-D. The Harbor Hawks looking to put together a little bit of a late rally as they chase 6 runs here in the bottom of the 8th. Lincoln, a couple at-bats still left, but you can't go into the 9th chasing 6. You'd like to try to piece something together here in the 8th.
Yeah, every once in a while you put together a big inning in that last frame, and you'll see a comeback once every blue moon, but it most likely won't happen in the 9th, so you got to get as many runs as you can now and cut down the lead heading into that last inning.
Top of the order is up with Caden Rose, followed by Kyle Ball, and then Luke Mann. Ross Dunn still on the mound for the Y-D Red Sox into his 3rd inning of work. He fires in a strike. The count is even to the Alabama outfielder Rose at 1-1. From the windup, the 1-1 from Ross. Called strike, and Dunn has been effective, Lincoln, limiting the base runners for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, they have, and I think the number was 15 combined strikeouts for the pitchers so far. I believe that number is up to 16 now, 16 or 17.
16 strikeouts for the Harbor Hawks, and with Rose at 2-2, that number could creep a little closer to the historical 20. The count is 2-2. The Y-D Red Sox pitching has just been sensational all game long. It started with the starter Pat Gallagher, and Ross Dunn has picked up where he left off in this ballgame.
Yeah, Gallagher just mowing down the competition, so to speak, just strikeout after strikeout after strikeout to this Harbor Hawks team.
Rose hits a soft grounder down the third base line, but it hit him in the box, so he will not get to try to leg that one out. He'll have to stay put. Full count. Seven won the lead for Y-D. Rose swings at a full count pitch and pops it up down the first base line. It's going to creep out of play just by about 10 feet or so.
Saw the action in the Red Sox bullpen stop for a little bit as everybody retreated back to get out of the way of that foul ball and out of the way of Baez heading over back of first.
Pat Gallagher on the day, Lincoln. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 11 strikeouts. as the starting pitcher. And then Ross Dunn, 2 innings so far. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. So 5 of the 6 outs Dunn has recorded have been by the strikeout to make it a total of 16. The 3-2 is popped up, and Rose is trying to stay alive here as he fouls off another pitch.
Yeah, and the one putout that hasn't been a strikeout for Dunn was that nice routine 4-3 putout, that post notched back in the 7th.
The count remains 3-2 as Caden Rose is putting up a good battle. The pitch misses. Ball 4, a leadoff walk for Caden Rose. And that's what you need to hear in the 8th. Try to get a man on and work through this thing.
Yeah, you can't score runs without people on base. And Rose doing a good job doing his job as the leadoff man in the lineup and in the inning of just getting on base and being that RBI for the players in the future.
43 pitches for Ross Dunn. We'll see how much longer he goes. As we mentioned, Lincoln, there is action in the Y-D bullpen as a right-hander stretches and begins to throw. Kyle Ball digs in, nobody out. Runner on first is the leadoff man, Rose. First pitch to Ball. Called strike on the breaking ball. Came back and caught the middle of the plate, 0-1. It's Ball with Luke Mann on deck. Marcos Pujols in the hole. Here in the bottom of the 8th.
In the bullpen for the Red Sox now is going to be Sam Beck, the junior at the University of San Francisco.
Dunn gets Ball chasing an off-speed pitch at his own feet, and the count moves to 0-2. Ball has turned out another solid night defensively. He had an incredible leaping grab earlier in the game, Lincoln. He's been a great defender all season long. He's had a couple of solid hits, looking to pick up the bat here in this one. The 0-2 gets him chasing out a fastball for out number 1 as Ball goes down swinging.
Ball 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts on the night. Things just have not gone his way at the plate. As we saw there, that is now the 3rd strikeout on the night for him.
And here's Luke Mann. He's 0 for 3 with 3 punch-outs on the line. That was the 17th strikeout of the Harbor Hawks. Then his man fouls one up straight back off behind home plate and into the parking lot.
Now, as long as Mann can avoid the strikeout here, I have to say that'd be kind of an upgrade on his night, trying to avoid the golden sombrero, which is 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
And as a team, you're trying to avoid, 20 strikeouts is a lot in a baseball game, and that's an individual record for a lot of pitchers. Not a lot of pitchers, but for some, Max Scherzer comes to mind, I believe Kerry Wood. Not many guys can do that. And as a team, even, you don't see 20 strikeouts a lot. The 1-1 in the dirt and blocked. Great block there by the catcher, Hunter. And the count moves to 2-1 to Luke Mann.
Hunter was all over that pass ball. It's almost like he knew that it was going to come in the dirt, because whenever even when he saw that it started to break, he was already over there ready to get in front of it and stop it.
Hunter's the regular catcher. He didn't start the game. Came in about halfway through tonight's game. Took over for Baez. The long pause, the 2-1. Called strike, finds the inside corner. The count moves to 2-2. 2-2 the count to Mann. See if he goes back off speed pitch here, Lincoln.
No, I'd say fastball.
All right, let's see what he does. The 2-2 from Ross Dunn awaits. Long pause. He's staring down Caden Rose at first. Yeah, and time is called. That was a good 5 seconds there.
Staring contest. I wonder who won.
Luke Mann wasn't going to stick around to find out. He calls time, and that's what you have to do if you're the hitter. The 2-2. Fastball high, 3-2. The count is full. Good job by Luke Mann working the count here. He hasn't chased a lot of pitches tonight. He's done a good job of swinging at pitches in the zone. The 3-2 from Ross Dunn. Thought about going around, but holds up, and it's ball 4. So a walk to Luke Mann, the second walk issued by Ross Dunn, and the Harbor Hawks looking to put together a little rally here in the 8th.
Yep, Luke Mann doing better than just avoiding the sombrero. He reaches base for the first time tonight. And a chance for Marcos Pujols to do something big here.
Pujols digs in. 1 for 3 on the night with a single.
We have a call. Not even going to jinx it. Never mind. Started to, but not even going to jinx it. If it doesn't happen, somebody else already jinxed it for me. So
All
there
right,
we go.
Rose on second, Mann on first, and Pujols at the plate as he fans on a slider out of the zone for strike 1. The count is 0-1 to Marcos Pujols, the first baseman from Dayton. Romano on deck for the Harbor Hawks. Pujols looking to extend the inning, maybe drive in a run as he thought about going around but holds up. It's 1-1 the count.
Good decision there to hold there. A great eye from Pujols. He's been very disciplined at the plate. He's swung at a couple of high ones tonight, but overall, very good discipline from him and the rest of this lineup.
The count 1-1 to Marcos Pujols. The pitch as he goes and tries to get that slider again, but can't connect as the count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 awaits to Pujols with Rose on second, Mann at first. Ross Dunn looking to complete his 3rd inning of work. He's fired 2 1/3 so far. No hits or runs. 3 walks and 6 strikeouts so far from the lefty out of the bullpen. This game started a bit late due to wet field conditions. We got going at 6:15, so about 25 minutes away from the 3-hour mark. The 1-2. Pujols thought about going around but doesn't. It's called strike 3 anyways, and suddenly there are 2 away.
Good pitch there. Pujols wanted to go for it, but he didn't. And now he reached base once tonight, but he struck out twice, and he's 1 for 4 on the night in total.
And steps Ryan Romano, the second baseman. From Florida State. First pitch to Romano, a strike, 0-1 the count.
Ooh, I'm hearing fireworks.
Fireworks going off in the distance here on this 4th of July in Hyannis. Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill here. The 0-1, Romano swings and fouls it back, 0-2 the count. 18 strikeouts as a team. As Romano looks to avoid being number 19, he's behind 0-2 to Ross Dunn. The pause, the windup, and the pitch, and he gets Romano swinging to end the inning. The Harbor Hawks strand 2. We head to the final frame. The 9th inning awaits here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Daniel Lloyd toes the rubber as we get ready to begin the top of the 9th inning from Judy Walden Scarefile Field at McKeon Park. Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill here with you in the booth, and Lincoln Lloyd has been very consistent for the Harbor Hawks out of the bullpen this season, including that impressive performance against Falmouth on Wednesday as he fires the first pitch at 94 miles per hour. And a pinch hitter due up here for the Y-D Red Sox. It's Andrew Compton digging in for the first time tonight. Compton comes in for Baez. Lloyd misses with that one. 2-0 the count.
Compton, the 6'2", 210-pound sophomore from Georgia Tech, standing in that left-handed box.
Lloyd also recorded the save on Wednesday in Falmouth, one of 2 saves on the year. Both of the Harbor Hawks wins were by 3 runs as they sit at 2-8 on the season. That one's grounded to first. Mason Greer lets it go by him as it takes a bad hop. So the pinch hitter Compton reaches base safely on the error at first.
Error number 7 for the Harbor Hawks. And that was just showing just how hard it can be to ground that ball in such wet conditions, that muddy field. That ball grabbed the dirt and it just went. Not a good hop there for Greer.
First pitch, a called strike there. As Chase Luttrell digs in for the 4th time in this ball game, 1 for 3. A run scored and a single. He also reached base on an error in the 7th. 7 runs on 6 hits for the Y-D Red Sox. 1 run, 4 hits, 7 errors for Hyannis. Lloyd from the stretch, the 1-1 is grounded foul down the first base line. The count moves to 1-2. 3 innings pitched on the year for Lloyd, all scoreless with 6 strikeouts. He's been very consistent out of this Harbor Hawk bullpen. The 1-2, cut on and missed. Out number 1 as Lloyd sits down. Luttrell swinging for out number 1.
Now that was a great pitch there from Lloyd to start off to get that first out here with that runner on first. And now with Huff coming up to the plate, chance for a double play here. A double play to end this inning would be a very good thing for the Harbor Hawks.
And Lincoln, 7 runs have crossed the plate tonight for the Y-D Red Sox. Just 1 earned run of the 7. And that does show you how solid the bullpen has been throughout tonight. I mean, runs have come across, sure, but they're not earned runs. They're innings that could have been over. And we unfortunately didn't get to see either of the back 9 bullies in Trey Braithwaite or Nolan Crisp. As if you're curious as to those 2, you can check out Taylor Farmer's interview with Crisp and Braithwaite before the game. They have coined themselves as the back 9 bullies, but they'll tell you that that's not the nickname they came up with, that someone gifted that to them. They've both been good out of the pen this season. We've seen Evan Webster be solid. Daniel Lloyd obviously on the hill tonight. He's done a good job all season long amongst others. The count 2-1 to Huff.
Yeah, the pitching has been fine for both teams so far tonight. But Austin, whenever, like we talked about how bad it was whenever the runs outnumber the hits. But it's another kind of thing whenever the errors outnumber the runs and hits combined.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
No, definitely not.
The count is 3-1 to Huff. No wind, no noise anywhere in sight or within listening distance. The 3-1. Ball 4, so a walk puts on Huff. So first and second now with one away.
Still some scouts surviving, braving the cold to see the end of this game.
The next batter for Y-D, DeCouta from Virginia Tech, number 17, Cade Hunter.
Still about 100 or 200 fans in attendance. Over 2,000 were here to start the game. That one is fouled off a Dylan post as Hunter takes a big swing at a fastball. 0-1 the count, one away. Compton on second, Huff on first. Daniel Lloyd on the hill. The 0-1 misses for a ball, 1-1 the count.
That was loud. Loud firework coming off.
Fireworks here on the 4th of July going off in the distance in Hyannis.
Wish I could see how big those things were or where they're coming from.
As the bat shatters on the 1-1, Romano flips onto second for one, the throw onto first. In time to end the inning, a double play, 4-6-3. The Harbor Hawks get out of the 9th as we head to the bottom of the 9th, looking to put together a little magical rally. 7-1, Y-D leads it on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Bottom of the 9th inning from Hyannis. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you for the final frame as a new pitcher toes the rubber for the Y-D Red Sox. It's Sam Beck, a 6'4" right-hander from the University of San Francisco. Not a save situation, so Beck just looking to get some work in here as the Y-D Red Sox hold a 7-1 lead over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, as it'll be Mason Greer, Dom Johnson, and Dylan Post due up tonight, or for this inning. And in steps Mason Greer, 0 for 3 on the day. Tough conditions to play in tonight with the infield absolutely muddied up. Not an easy night to be an infielder. That's why we've seen, in part, 7 errors on the Harbor Hawks side of things. "1-0 the count as Beck steps on the rubber. The 2-0 misses for a ball. That brings the count to 2-0 rather.
Greer looking for his first time on in quite a while. Yeah, his last time on was against Catuit back on June 28th. And that he reached base twice that game with a walk and a single, but since then he hasn't found base at all.
Greer grounds it foul. The count evens up at 2-2. The 2-2 from Beck. Ground ball up the middle. Picked on a hop. The throw on to first is in time for out number 1. Nice play at short.
A very athletic play there from Ferreras at short, as he had to back almost behind second base to make that grab, but he had it just in plenty of time and then made a nice easy throw over to first for out number 1.
Dom Johnson. First pitch to Dom Johnson is a called strike, 0-1, 76 miles an hour on the breaking pitch.
Wow.
Harborhawks down to their final 2 outs on this 4th of July Sunday. The 0-1. Fouled off, 0-2. And Lincoln, tomorrow night, we're back in action here at McKeon Park as the Chatham Anglers come to town. And the Harborhawks, after this game's over, this is one you just forget about. You know, you don't think about it. You just move on to the next game and try to bounce back and improve.
Yeah, with everything that's happened this season, take away the 2 wins. You just got to have a short memory about everything, move on. It's a new day tomorrow, new opportunity to get a win.
The count 1-2 to Dom Johnson. The 1-2. Ground ball to first. Picked up on a hop by Compton. He steps on first for out number 2. And the Harborhawks are down to their final out. Dylan Post, the catcher from Houston, digging in. 1 for 3 on the night, a single, and the lone run scored as fireworks explode out in the bay down in right field, just in foul territory. You can kind of see it. As the Post grounded to short, Ferreras picks it on a hop, bobbles it, recovers. The throw to first is in time to end the ball game as the Harborhawks fall to Yarmouth-Dennis by a score of 7-1. Fireworks go off in the distance. And Lincoln, not an ideal night for Hyannis, but they're looking to bounce back tomorrow.
Yeah, not an ideal night at all. Just not good defensively. It started out well offensively. We were tied in the 5th. But after that 5th inning, things just went downhill fast, and they never came back up.
Harborhawks back in action tomorrow, 6 p.m. first pitch here at McKeon Park. For our producers, Harrison Meyers and Matt Noah, for our sideline reporter, Taylor Farmer, and for my partner, Lincoln Revill, I'm Austin DeCouta saying good night from McKeon Park. We will see you tomorrow on the Harborhawks Baseball Network.